my cousin gave away half of his life savings to the orangutan because of you. Dan buat saya itu lebih, that was more rewarding than receiving, I'm sorry, a silly old, award for hosting a rather trivial TV show. Now, it was then that I realized the power that I had as a mere individual, and through the medium that I had been very fortunate to be given this platform, I was able to affect the thoughts of hundreds of thousands of individuals. Now, recently, I had built an eco-home in Singapore. We're one of the first few homes or first few families to build such a home. So that was a great challenge, which is another story for another day, because that could go on forever, as did the building of the home. But through these challenges, I realized that there was no real resources in Asia or in Singapore for individuals who'd want to build an eco-home. And so then I started a site called greenkampung.com, which was originally just my stories about the trials and tribulations of building this eco-home and finding the solutions and technologies for the house, and has quickly grown into what it is today, which we feature, business, food, policy, design as well. Now, we're also looking at developing TV programs and expanding the platform as well. So I guess, for me, it's about creating your own platform. And you don't have to be a media personality to do that these days, because everybody has the power to be passionate and be focused. And with the power of a handphone and the internet, you too can voice your passions, but all you need to do is make sure that you channel them correctly. Yeah, that's.
And a fantastic website it is, that's for sure. It's a very, very inspirational site that you must go and check out if you haven't already. Fritz, please enlighten us.
Thank you, Hayden. Selamat sore. First of all, congratulations to the top 100 students, one from each school. Also, congratulations to the teachers, because I'm sure you've had a big influence in this whole process. And congratulations to the Student Globe, to Sachin and his team for making this possible. My name is Frits van Dijk. I'm a Dutch national from Holland, and I've been working for Nestlé for 41 years. This was my first employer and probably my last employer. I was born actually in your beautiful country, in Jakarta. And I spent my youth in Asia, in different places in Indonesia, Hong Kong, Karachi in Pakistan, then to Kenya. My father was an expatriate banker. Then I went to Holland for secondary schooling, for university. And the moment I graduated, I only had one wish, and that is to go back to Asia, because that is where I felt I belong. That's where my roots were. And I joined Nestlé, who gave me this opportunity to make a career in this great part of the world. And I spent 28 years in Asia, in different countries, India, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Malaysia, China, and Japan. And then in the year 2000, I was sent to Europe. And I'm now working out of the headquarters of Nestlé in Switzerland, where I look after all the Nestlé operations in Asia, Oceania, Africa, and the Middle East, which is clearly the growth driver of our company, this very dynamic region. I was asked to explain why am I interested in environmental issues, and this only started about 11 years ago, when I had a son. I've got two sons. My youngest son at that time was your age, 15, and he was selected by his school to participate in a debating society. And he was sent to The Hague in Holland to represent his school. And he asked me, what should he write about? And so we talked about it, and he took a particular interest in the topic of water. He was 15 years old, and already at that time he said, the way this world is behaving, this cannot be sustained. And this was for me a wake-up call. Here I am, an executive in a food and beverage company. We are using a lot of raw materials. Raw materials need water. Our consumers need water to prepare the final product. We need water in our production processes. And this started to get me interested. And since then, I've been very much involved in the whole discussion and in all the actions in our company of how to preserve water, how to do better water management. And from that, I then also got very much involved in what I call the new vision for agriculture. How are we going to feed this planet one day when there are 9 billion people, and how are we going to feed them in a sustainable manner? So that's my background. I grew up in different parts of Asia where I really saw the need for action, and I believe our company is very active in many aspects when it comes to raw material sustainability, be it dairy farming. In Indonesia, we work with 33,000 farmers in East Java, from whom we buy the fresh milk and convert it into different milk products. We work with coffee farmers in Sumatra, where we have a coffee factory. We are increasingly working also in the area of cocoa. I believe Indonesia has an enormous opportunity to grow a lot more cocoa. We are working with the Indonesian Cocoa and Coffee Research Institute, ICRI. We are working on the raw material of palm oil, which has been in the news in the last 12 months or so. And of course, even a company like Nestlé, we go through learnings, but I think these learnings have been very important to do a better job in the future. So I'm delighted to be here and to hear from you how you see the future of planet Earth. Thank you.
It's not very often that you can sit with someone that has 41 years experience with the same organisation and to see that line that has gone through that organisation. So it's wonderful to have Fritz on board with us here today. Okay, myself, 46 years, 5 minutes. Here we go. Born, Sydney, Australia. I blame my whole existence and why I'm here and why I'm so passionate about talking to you and being up here with these wonderful people on the humble chicken. My father bought me a baby chicken when I was 5 years old, and then bought me another one, and then bought me another one, and I started to raise chickens. And then I had my first egg, and that was the most incredible thing in my life. And I started to raise other animals, and I found this love of caring for animals. And then I started to learn about the exotic animals of the world, not just domestic animals. I went on, let's fast forward a few years, I had a very normal schooling, I went to a normal school. I excelled in a few areas, but nothing outrageous. I wanted to work at Taronga Zoo in Sydney, Australia. That is all I wanted to do all my life. No other aspiration. That's what I wanted. And I went after that. I went after that for so long, and I just thought at one point I would never get that job. One day I was looking through the newspaper, and there was a job at Taronga Zoo, and I didn't even know how to write a CV. I didn't know how to write a resume. Every job that I'd had after I left school was sort of friends of friends or something like that. And I went for this job and I got an interview. Long story short, I got the job. I was absolutely over the moon. It was all I wanted to do for the rest of my life.